Bluey opened her eyes. Sunlight filled the room, streaming through the familiar curtains. Her gaze darted to the door. Bingo sat on the floor, calmly gathering toys, her voice chiming. "Bluey, let's play Shadow Hunters." The same words, the same cheerful tone. Bluey's heart plummeted. It was the same morning. Again. She remembered yesterday, every single moment. How she woke up, how Bingo called her, how they went to play Shadow Hunters. And then, she remembered. The bushes, the cold, the feeling that no one was looking for her. It had happened again. And again. Bluey tried to stifle the rising terror. She had to change something. "No, Bingo!" The words caught in her throat, but she forced them out. Let's play Chasey instead." She hoped a different game would break the chain. Bingo tilted her head slightly, blinked. "Oh, okay. I'm it." Familiar words, spoken with a new chilling precision. And Bingo ran towards the backyard. Bluey bolted after her, at first feeling a faint flicker of hope. They ran around the garden, Bingo's laughter sounding as it always did, but to Bluey it became a distant, unsettling chime. She tried not to look at that corner where the trees and bushes intertwined into a dark mass. Then, inevitably, she felt a sharp pain in her paw, tripping over an unseen obstacle. Her body hit the ground. The familiar smell of old leaves and damp earth filled her nostrils. She lay there gasping, feeling the cold seep into her bones. The same bushes surrounded her, the same tangled branches. And silence. Bingo didn't call for her. No one called for her. Bluey lifted her head, her gaze involuntarily drawn to the furthest corner of the garden. There, barely discernible amidst the deepening shadows yet utterly real, sat that same pale, gaunt silhouette with huge empty eye sockets. It simply watched. She lay there, feeling the icy chill penetrate her very core. She wasn't being searched for, no one was looking, just like yesterday, just like the day before. The loop tightened and Bluey understood she was trapped within it forever. It's a sunny morning. Bluey and Bingo are getting ready to play. "Dad, let's play Keepy Uppy." Bluey calls out. Bandit sits on the couch. He stares straight ahead. There's no smile on his face, no frown. He just stares. "Dad," Bingo repeats. Bandit slowly turns his head towards them. "Keepy Uppy." Yes. His voice is flat, devoid of any intonation. He stands up and begins to move. His movements seem too smooth, too predictable, as if he's following instructions. Chili enters the room carrying a plate of fruit. Breakfast is ready. She doesn't sing, as usual, doesn't joke. She just places the plate on the table. Her eyes are empty. Bluey and Bingo look at each other. "Mom, did you forget our breakfast song?" Bluey asks. Chili slowly blinks. "Breakfast song? Oh yes, the breakfast song." She doesn't try to sing, doesn't remember, she just states it. The day continues. Bluey and Bingo try to play with their parents, but the games bring no joy. Bandit plays Burger Shop, but his reactions are programmed. He doesn't laugh when the food falls on the floor, doesn't make silly faces when it's yucky. Chili doesn't react to their antics. When Bingo accidentally spills juice, Chili simply takes a cloth and wipes it up. Without a reprimand, without a sigh of disappointment, without comfort. Just an action. "Mom, aren't you cross?" Bingo asks. "Cross? Why?" Chili replies. Her voice is devoid of emotion. It's unsettling. Bluey remembers how her parents used to be so lively, so real. Now they're like mannequins. In the evening before bed, Bluey tries to hug Dad. He stands there allowing himself to be hugged but doesn't hug back. His body is stiff, lifeless. "Dad, do you love me?" Bluey asks, feeling tears welling up in her eyes. Love. Yes. The answer is mechanical, without warmth. Bluey and Bingo lie in their beds. The silence in the house is oppressive. It's not just quiet, it's lifeless. From their parents' room, there's no usual mumbling or whispering. Only complete emptiness. Bingo turns to Bluey. Her eyes are wide with fear. "Bluey, I feel it." "What?" Bluey whispers. "I don't want to play. I don't want to laugh. I don't want to do anything." Bingo's voice becomes flat like their parents. Her eyes begin to dull. Bluey feels it too. A coldness spreading within, dulling all emotions. She tries to laugh, tries to feel joy. But her laughter sounds hollow and joy feels alien. She looks at her paws. They seem colorless. Morning. Bluey wakes up. The house is silent. Too silent. No one is singing, no one is calling out. She sees Bandit and Chili sitting at the table. They stare straight ahead. Their faces are calm, their eyes are empty. Bingo sits next to them. She also stares straight ahead. Her eyes are empty without any emotions. Bluey feels the last flicker of light inside her extinguish. She no longer feels fear, no longer feels sadness, feels nothing. She walks to the table and sits beside them. Her gaze becomes just as empty. The room is bathed in morning light, but nothing seems alive. Everyone simply exists. The sunny day was slowly fading over the Healer backyard, but Bluey and Bingo's lively game of shadow hunters continued. Their giggles drifted to Chili, who was sipping tea on the veranda, and to Bandit, who was wrestling with a broken garden hose. Evening shadows lengthened, casting strange dancing figures across the lawn. Suddenly, Bingo froze. Her gaze was fixed on the furthest corner of the garden, where old tree branches and thick bushes merged into a single dark mass. There, amidst the deepening twilight, something had appeared. It was a pale, hairless, unnaturally thin figure, almost translucent, as if carved from the very shadows themselves. It squatted pressed close to the ground, and two enormous empty eye sockets stared directly at the children. Bluey felt the fur on her neck prickle. This was unlike any animal they knew, unlike anything they had ever seen. It was wrong, alien. The figure didn't move, but its intense gaze felt physical, piercing through the distance, through the bushes, right into their souls. The sensation of being watched was all-consuming. Bandit, noticing his frozen daughters, approached, squinting. He peered into the spot they indicated but saw only old leaves and an overturned garden gnome. "There's nothing here, girls," he said, picking up the gnome. Bluey and Bingo exchanged uneasy glances. They knew what they had seen, and it was no gnome. The entire evening passed under a cloud of unspoken unease. The girls kept glancing out the window, trying to discern something in the darkening garden. When they finally went to bed, Bluey pressed close to Bingo. Both felt an inexplicable cold seeping through the walls of the house. Deep in the night, Bluey woke up. The room was engulfed in an icy chill, even though the window was tightly closed. She barely opened her eyes and saw it. The same figure was sitting in the corner of the room right by their bed. It squatted, its long thin limbs oddly bent, and its huge dark eyes were fixed on Bluey. Fear paralyzed Bluey. She couldn't move, couldn't make a sound. The creature was absolutely silent, yet its presence filled every corner of the room, making the air thick and suffocating. It simply watched, seemingly trying to read her thoughts, to penetrate the darkest corners of her mind. It wasn't just terrifying, it was draining, sucking all the strength from her, leaving only helplessness and panic. Bingo snored peacefully beside her, while Bluey lay unable to tear her gaze from the abyss in the creature's eyes. Time ceased to exist. Bluey didn't know how long it had been there.